Welcome to Curry Gumbo, the podcast where Nicole and Ashley discuss Black film and TV.
I would like to tell you about my day.
Go ahead.
Because I have just been very busy with work and with other projects. And I said, I have to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to watch this film to be prepared for this conversation. So I'm getting up and I turned the film on. I thought it was on Tubi. It wasn't. Then
I think it went off. I think when I watched it on Tubi, it said like gone in like 5 days or whatever.
Then I go to Amazon. They said if you get the Stars membership, you can watch it. I said I'll do the Stars membership. Get that. Start the film. 5 minutes in, I'm back asleep.
Ooh.
Wake up. We're about halfway in the film. I said, Ashley, start it over. I started over because I'm up now.
Mm-hmm.
I make it 7 minutes. Knocked out. Knocked out. This film could not keep me. I think I attempted to watch it a total of 8 times.
Yeah.
And so I've seen the whole film, but in bits and pieces. And I don't ever want to watch this film again unless I'm studying like what doesn't work in a film. And that is so harsh. I recently just saw Vivica A. Fox say that she was presented with the film Two Can Play That Game 3 times because the script just wasn't right. I want to know how many times they showed you this film because it is, the budget is the budget. Like, I can tell the wardrobe budget isn't what it needs to be. It looks like the camera isn't, like, the picture quality isn't that great. It looks like I filmed this on a camera that I can afford. I think that there wasn't anything about the direction of the film, like the lighting of the film, that gave me mood. Like there wasn't anything about the film that felt incredibly artistic. It just felt like, hey, y'all, we got to get this movie done. Let's do it. Like, that's what it felt like to me. And I can move past that, but you got to give me a laugh. You got to give me something I can connect to. I think the funniest part of this film was Tony Rock, and he wasn't even all that funny.
The budget was definitely cut for this film, just based on the cast. There's a lot of up and comers. It's just the people I recognize, but people I recognize on like a smaller scale. Jason George, I remember him from Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine
who
Lewis
does a wonderful job acting. Like, he's a wonderful actor. Terry Vaughn is a wonderful actor. Tony Rock does a fine job. Vivica A. Fox, of course, does an amazing job.
She's carrying the movie.
She certainly is.
Outside of her, again, for this to be, I'm thinking, okay, 2007, a lot of these people are, I guess we should call them up and coming.
Yeah, I think that there's some people who are very familiar to us.
Yes, because I'm saying I've seen people. I've seen Jasmine, what's her name? Jasmine Lewis. I don't know where, but I've seen her before. She played Tiffany. Melissa Ford, of course. Like, we know who Melissa Ford is.
Yeah.
Masika Kalisha. I saw her in the cast. I'm like, now, I didn't know she was ever in the movie. I didn't know she did anything outside of Love and Hip Hop.
But who did she play? I feel like I still missed her.
At the very end, when they're at the church, their wedding, and her boyfriend is like he was looking at like another woman.
That was Masika Kalisha?
I believe so.
I have to go back and watch that because there was something about her. I was like, she feels familiar to me.
Are you
sure?
I mean, to me, it makes sense to me. She definitely looks different. Again, '07, natural pressed hair, basic dress. In '07, she had to be around like 22. She's only credited as woman. But to me, I believe she was the woman at the end when Vivica handed her card and was like, "Girl, you need to call me." She had like 5 lines. You still
Okay.
shook?
That is wild to me. That is absolutely wild to me.
Like, who else would she be in this movie?
I can't, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we can't say nothing about these Tyler Perry films if it's films like this out here. I mean, at least Tyler Perry films is gonna give me a laugh. At least the film, because what? Okay, I think a lot of sequels that we see is that they just like copy and paste the story,
Yes, which was what this was.
which is what this was, but there there wasn't anything that I could hold on to. Okay, so in the first film we have a man who's behaving inappropriately with a work colleague. Same thing happens in this film.
Yep,
Um the his he has just won a contest which is very
the fake
much like
apprentice.
the fake apprentice, and Carla, who's played by Kalita Smith, who we know from the wife from the Bernie Mac show. She is his project manager and she's in charge of him, which is odd to me because what I understand about project management is that you're not the boss of like you're not a director. Like you just
You just
manage
manage the
projects. You don't
projects, yeah.
you could have a team, but you would have a team of other project managers, but or you have a team but you're not necessarily their boss. Um I don't know. Like so that was odd to me. And I didn't really understand her motivation of coming on to this man in this way, especially since if he is working for you, that is incredibly inappropriate. I guess I just wanted to see her a little bit more so that the villainy could make sense.
It seemed like she just wanted him to break up with his girlfriend
For what?
because the girlfriend was gonna be a distraction because he's supposed to be traveling to whatever country, and he was trying to take his girlfriend with him. And she was like, "No, this is a solo adventure, not
Yeah.
a joint adventure." And so she was like, "This girlfriend got to go," because, or maybe she felt like it was gonna hold him back for whatever business they're trying to do. She's like, "I
I
don't need
think
no
she
woman."
liked him. I think she was attracted to him.
I'm sure she was attracted, but I don't think she was trying to like have a relationship with him.
I don't think she was trying to have a relationship with him either. I don't think that her wanting to get rid of him was motivated by her career at all or his career. It was just she just wanted to be with him in whatever capacity, and she didn't care that he had a girlfriend.
I thought she wanted to be the focus. Like the girlfriend was kind of like interference in a way. Like she needed to
Yeah, she
be
wanted to
the
be the
number
focus
one,
as
the
the other
manager,
woman.
whatever.
But see, I don't even know what y'all do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't
That is
even
true.
know. I don't have a sense of what you do at this job, how you work with her. I don't know what you do. I still don't know the role that she played that Tiffany has with Upscale Magazine. I just saw Upscale Magazine and I was like, "Oh my goodness, Upscale Magazine, which is still around." But I'm like, "Are you the editor in chief? Are you a writer? Are you a creative, artistic director? What is your role? I'm very confused.
They do not say. Just that she got a job.
And I also don't understand why, because it seemed like when Carla is pushing up on him, it seems like he wants nothing to do with it, and it's sexual harassment. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't, what are you doing? And so he never, like, when do you explain that to Tiffany? Because she just comes in at the wrong time
Yep.
and witnesses this. And it just felt like all this had to be was a conversation. I was not thrilled with Tiffany's performance as an actress. It really honestly felt like I was watching a high school performance with her. And that is no shade. I just thought Terry Vaughn could have had this role.
Rashida Ali could have had this role. What's her name?
I'm gonna
Rashawn. What's her
say
name?
I'm gonna
Rashida?
say
Rashawn?
Terry Vaughn. I'm
What's her
saying
name?
Terry. She could stay on the radio.
Rashawn. She played a cool friend.
Yeah. And I mean, we could have also had some real comedians. And this is why it's like, give Monique her motherfucking money. Because I know you see the difference between her and these other people.
Well, we already established this was the low budget. The budget was cut. They went to Atlanta for a reason, okay? Anytime a show goes to Atlanta, you know the budget has been cut.
My God.
I'm trying to see what else. Oh, she was in Barbershop. That's why I seen Jasmine Lewis in.
Oh, she was the wife. Yes.
Yeah. Like, I know I've seen her before.
Yeah. I remember her giving a fine performance there. I'm not saying that she can't lead a film, but I am saying that I didn't believe much of what she was saying. Did you?
I mean, the movie, it was, like we said, it was a copycat of the first one. The same storyline. This couple that was seemingly happy has a rift in their relationship. And she's, I guess, trying to teach her man a lesson in a way. That's where Shantae comes in. Shantae kind of like mentors her through this breakup with Byron. And they do this 5-step program for her to, I don't even know like what they're doing, because Shantae ends up playing both of them, because Byron, thinking she's a real counselor, he ends up going to see Shantae on his own. And she's like playing the both of them against each other.
And I'm so confused. I was so confused because I think in the Two Can Play That Game, we have like a 10-step program.
Yeah.
Now we have a 5-step program.
Yep.
Which is like, okay, girl, so we just condensed the program. Yep. And I kind of forget that we are in a program, because the plot kind of does like twists and turns in a way that I can't keep up, and nothing is tying me to the film, because I'm not laughing out loud. I'm not drawn into anybody's character. I don't feel sorry for anybody. I don't feel happy for anybody. I'm not thrilled to see anybody. So I'm like, I'm not invested in this relationship at all. I don't even see how y'all meet. With the first one, I saw how y'all met. I think that it's very, in some films, it gives you got 2 seconds to know that these people are madly, deeply in love. I don't see that with this film.
Because, and then to your point, it's not like they were together for a very long time. Well, not
Right.
serious because she's just meeting his parents for the first time.
They
Because she
don't
says,
even, when you meet his parents, you're like, hi, I'm Tiffany. Y'all don't know her name? Y'all don't, it wasn't, you must be Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. Y'all ain't talked on the phone?
no. He didn't want her to meet his parents. Because she was like, I need to meet your parents.
Which is
And
another reason why I'm like, I'm not invested in this relationship. It don't seem like you are invested in this relationship either.
oh, it seems like they were just dating. Maybe it could have been monogamous, but just dating. Not enough for him to be like, Mom, Dad, I need to. I'm gonna go to Alabama to take a road trip to meet my parents.
Yeah, I also didn't understand the purpose of them living in Alabama. Like, what did that?
I can kind of see that. Well, it makes sense because Atlanta is one of those places, one of those cities where everybody moves to. So it makes sense that his parents, or that he's really from Alabama. And then I guess taking her to Alabama, since that this is somewhat serious because we have to take a trip
I have to go
to
out
see
of
your
my way
parents.
to.
Like,
Okay.
it's not like we can just call your parents for lunch. We actually have to make an effort to go to your parents.
But did we ever see them drive to Alabama? Like, did we ever see like the little? Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't feel
They ain't
that.
got
I
the
don't.
budget. We
They
gotta
couldn't.
imagine Alabama, okay? We gotta
I
imagine
just see y'all
Alabama.
roll up in a car. Like whenever we
Yes.
go somewhere, it's like get in the car. I see the car pull off. I see the car on the highway. I see the car on roads. And then there's some
Girl,
dialogue in the car. I don't feel like I have traveled, so I don't
Ashley,
feel like I look.
they went after they went down to West Georgia and one of them countries. Okay. They went down to West
Went
Georgia
down
to a
to
little dirt road
Clinton, Georgia.
to film this, okay? They ain't make it to Alabama. You just gotta imagine Alabama. Byron's friend, played by Tony Rock, he kind of is the Anthony Anderson character from the first movie,
Mm-hmm.
and he's telling Byron, he's giving Byron advice on what he needs to do. And Shantae notices this interference, so she creates her own interference, and here comes in Melissa Ford, who plays Candy. And she's like, she's going to distract Tony Rock. So Shantae can have her project on her own. And so Melissa Ford does. She comes in and she distracts Tony Rock, and they end up a real couple. Which I was like, okay. We mentioned in the last movie how like everything was about like getting a ring. Like that was like the prize. And it's the same thing in this one. Everything is like,
Yeah.
oh girl, this is how you get down the aisle. Because even when she was talking to Byron and Tiffany, it was like, oh, you gotta break up and then get back together because that's how you really gonna get married. That's how you get walking down the aisle. And I'm like, really, we manipulating breakups just to walk down the aisle?
And also, I can't imagine if we dealing with two emotionally intelligent people, which it seemed like the film wants to say that this man is, like he's a really good guy. I can see him being like, okay, I know that this woman is this lady at my job. I know she flirting with me.
Mm-hmm.
I know she is. So how am I gonna deal with this? I don't know if he would tell Tiffany like, yo, this is a lady at my job, man. She be flirting with. I don't think that would be something that he would necessarily say, but I feel like any grown man who's interested in moving things forward with this woman, like, you're not going to be in the same room with these two women and allow yourself to be alone with her if you know that she's
Yeah.
always going to give flirtatious vibes. You're not even going to be around her with your girlfriend because you know she going to embarrass your ass. So it's like, are y'all even ready for a relation? Like, the plan is to get married, but girl, y'all don't even know each other. You couldn't even hear the man out when she's like, because quite honestly, it's like, what am I being forgiven for? I was the
I
one
didn't
being sexually harassed.
I didn't understand why Byron was still trying to be with Tiffany, because at one point I'm like, I would have just broken up with. We would have just stayed broken up.
Right.
Like, why did he need to be with her so bad?
Because she was getting on my nerves. Her voice was more annoying than mine.
Byron proposes to Tiffany at the wedding between Tony Rock and Candy.
If a motherfucker ever, I mean, we've discussed this when we discussed The Best Man.
I know, we did.
Don't you ever in your motherfucking life propose, make any grand gesture at the event that is supposed to be celebrating my union. Don't you ever in your life. You got to be out your foot. Not you stopped my wedding.
She says yes because that's the goal in this movie.
He makes this grand gesture and he says, "Will you marry me?" And she gives like a 10-second pause. Bitch, we know you about to say yes. Just say fucking yes. Now that shit got on my damn nerves.
Who was the three in this movie? Three can play that game. Was it supposed to be Tony Rock?
I feel like it's Vivica and the couple.
Byron and Tiffany.
Yeah.
And then we see Tony Rock has a book from Anthony Anderson's character that he's getting all his information from. All the advice he was given to Byron came from the book from
Child,
Tony
this
in the
film
first
should have
movie.
been called What's the Budget?
Low. I wonder why they did this, because this came out 6 years later. So
And
it's
I
like,
know it did not hit
why?
not one theater, not one AMC, not one Regal Cinema.
No,
Couldn't
we
have.
wouldn't remember this. We would remember 2007 in Atlanta.
I hate to be the one to say it.
What you gonna say?
I was just like, when is it going to be over? And I feel really bad about that. But that's how I was like, when is this going to be over?
Director is Samad Davis.
And it's written by the same person who did the first one. I didn't really mind the first one.
I think the first one was good because, well, we have all these A-list black actors in it, number one. And then it was like a cute movie. It really didn't need a sequel. There was nothing in the first movie that said, "Ooh, I wonder what happens next."
And was it such a big blockbuster? I don't remember, but like, was it such a big, huge blockbuster where it had to be like, oh no, we must do another one of these?
I don't think so. In
Neither
2000,
do
of all
I.
the movies that came out in 2001, we're talking about Love and Basketball and Brown Sugar, and what else came out around that time? The Best Man, that was 2000. Like, compared to those movies, I doubt it.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, what's going on?
Next, we going to Atlanta. when that when she said that in the first couple minutes, I was like, of course. I didn't know what this
Child.
was. I was like, of course you're going to Atlanta. And of course Keith was going to Dubai because everybody was going to Dubai in
Everybody
07.
was going to Dubai.
That's what talking about made me laugh. That made me laugh. Her moving to Atlanta and him going to Dubai. That's made me laugh. Because I was like, of course. Because that's what everybody did. Would you have gone to Dubai with Keith if you were Shantae?
It depended on how long we were together, and I would have questions about, like, what are we doing? Like,
I would have went because it's Dubai.
Yeah, I probably would have
And
gone, but I also would have felt like, are we going to be in a relationship? Like, are we going to get married? You know, I don't
I wouldn't have
necessarily
cared. I would be like,
need.
I'm on for the adventure. Let's just go
That's
to
true.
Dubai. It's
It's
Dubai. It's
very
not like
true.
it's if it was Idaho, no. But Dubai,
He said it was Idaho.
sure. I'll go to Dubai. And if it don't work out, I'll get the plane ticket back home. Just go for the adventure. See what happens. Shantae doesn't get married. She's advising all these other people to get a ring and get married. And she can't even get herself a ring. What kind
It
of coach
makes
are
you,
you, Shantae?
yeah, because you didn't have no game plan to make that nigga stay in LA.
You ain't had no game plan to get you a ring before he went to Dubai?
Right. We trying to figure it out.
But I guess she can help everyone but herself.
Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed the show. Hit us up on Instagram @CurryGumbo. Hope to see you next week. Bye.